All right, we're back here on GT for this week's bonus round with Tim, Nathan, and Cliff. Right now, we just want to talk about what it's like to be a developer in 2014. On the media side, I see things rapidly changing about sort of how the media interacts with developers. You mentioned before, Cliff, everyone going direct to consumer. Lots of big shifts. But this is GDC, so Nathan, you got to host the IGF Awards. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
For that. You've got a bunch of games in development. How does it feel right now to be a game developer? Is there a lot of opportunity out there?
Yeah,
Are people
there's
concerned?
Absolutely tons and tons of opportunity. I mean, just from the smaller studio really looking to self-publish, we're basically watching platforms fighting over who can be the best place for small games, downloadable games to exist. And that's
courting you?
That's a big shift. I mean, the days of us fighting through gatekeepers to get content on any platform feel like the distant past, and that's a beautiful thing. But I think with all of these opportunities come the simultaneous problems of like, how do you make your game discoverable by your fans? How do you reach out directly to a fan base on a console? How do you find a way to really have your game float up in the media? Because the barriers have been broken down. All of that opportunity spreads through a whole lot of people. There's some ubiquity of tools, and we're at GDC talking about, well, Unreal all of a sudden has changed their pricing plan, and Fmod and WYs just went free for a whole bunch of indies. And there's basically the ubiquity of tools means that there's a ton more content, and when there's a ton more content, you're always going to be fighting over each other for those eyeballs. And so we have this amazing pool of opportunity. We can Steam's still killing it. I mean, they're 75 plus million. Consoles are selling great. Even Mac and Linux are happening. Mobile's a weird thing, but it's still out there. Like, there's all these platforms, and they're all have the opportunity to self-publish on. That's amazing. But yeah, I think it's the kind of like double-edged sword of the opportunity and the discoverability problem kind of button heads. And to me, that's kind of all the conversations I have at GDC are like, holy crap, we can do so much amazing stuff, but then how do we get that stuff to bubble up?
Now, Cliff, you've been sort of working incognito for a while on something new. How do you feel about the state of the industry? Obviously, it sounds like you're getting ready to jump back in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I had a good year and a half off, and met around with a lot of the old guard, and
That's kind of exciting, because you get to decide whatever you want to do now.
Yeah, I mean, it's very freeing. 20 years with my former employer, I had a really wonderful run with them. But it's, finding the right partner for what I want to do next it's really a bazillion-dollar question. It has to be the right, not just somebody who's going to provide funding or publishing or assistance, somebody who's going to be a true partner, and people that I trust, and who I've, checked and, with other developers who've worked with this entity that I'm talking to, and they've had nothing but good things to say about them.
Okay.
So, I mean, I love this ecosystem that we're in now, where like capitalism has.
Tim on the deal.
Yeah, right, like that. Exclusive. Capitalism has led to this kind of engine race where Epic's realizing they want to embrace more mobile and indie developers as opposed to just AAA, which is basically going to become a mirror of the American restaurant landscape, where it's like, oh, you have Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Olive Garden, and Chili's, and then everything else is indie. So it's going to be basically
AAA has become
Assassin's Creed. You have and like the fact that Watch Dogs even exists makes me happy, because we found a rubber stamp, and now I think there's like 2 Assassin's Creed games coming out this year. Like I've lost track. And it's just they find the rubber stamp and they just run it, and then the rubber stamp wears out, and then they try and find something else. And it's like, I don't want to work on a game that has 5,000 people working on it.
Right.
I think and I guarantee there's a lot of artists, programmers, animators who are working on these games that are infinite sequels, that they would love to be back in a medium-sized studio working on something that they really care about, that really engages directly.
And you have a name and a brand that people want to bet on. I mean, you're the kind of guy that can do something new and different.
It can work for and against you, right? Like, I don't want to surround myself with sycophants, people who think everything I say is golden.
That's smart. That's pretty smart.
But I don't want to surround myself with people who doubt me all the time. And so finding that balance is going to be really, really hard if I get this going and I'm able to recruit.
Right. Now, Tim?
I was just saying it's cool to think of the opportunities that Cliff has now and the choice he has, like, because there's so many different ways to start things and fund things now that weren't there even just 3 years ago. And so you could kickstart a new company, you could get a publishing deal, you could get an investor, you could get all. It just seems like there's so many opportunities, and for our company, we're doing multiple ones. We're doing kickstarted games. We have Indie Fund doing 2 games with us, and we can still talk to publishers, but we don't have to take the onerous publishing terms that we used to have to take. We can be like keeping our IP and actually making money off the game. So
Costume Quest 2, Midnight City.
With Midnight City, you can see the publishers changing too. Like the Midnight City, what Casey Lynch is trying to do. Like, it seems like a different kind of, like, not a heavy-handed type thing, but like, we're going to go tell a developer how to make a game, but we're just going to partner with them and help them make something better together.
All right, guys, hold that thought. We are going to be right back here in the bonus round.